Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Two Peas in a Podcast. It's early morning,
Very early.
early morning, early morning. Dre has on his bonnet. I got hair, flower hair.
This is the new look, man. The bonnet is what y'all gonna get.
But it's good morning, Monday. And so, as usual, me and my co host will share a topic with you guys today. And we're going to try to keep Dre lifted in our prayers.
Hey, we good. We
You
good.
should see your face right now. You should see your
Look,
face right now.
after this podcast, I'm gonna go back to sleep, and that's just gonna be it. So yeah,
Hey, Keys. Hey, Ray. Good morning, everyone. Keep coming on in. Well, I'm really enjoying this environment right now. Of
you in
course,
Cali, right?
I love being in San Diego. Esteban, ¿cómo estás? Buenos días, compañero. Good morning, Reptile Life. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hopes everybody is preparing to have a great day. Great day. This is Tinley week. Hey, Kara Shay. Everybody in the chat who's going to Tinley, say yes in the comments. Candy. Hey, baby. The
Troublemaker.
beautiful Candy. Don't talk about Candy. You can talk about anybody else. Don't talk about Candy.
She a
No,
troublemaker.
I got a list.
That's
It's about
not
three
me.
that you can't. Candy's one.
I
Not
mean,
that Candy needs. Not that Candy needs my help at all. She can
you
handle
can say what you
all
want.
about it.
I don't know why you saying that. You can say, "Listen, I am drinking at 8 a.m., so I don't want to hear
Oh,
it. I
this
don't
is
care."
not good. This is not good.
It's
You
been a
really
rough
had a
week.
bad week. You really had
Ah,
a bad week.
Shay can run
Dre,
the
why are you
fade.
really drinking 8 o'clock
Candy,
in the
you can.
morning?
Candy, you can catch the fade anytime, Monday through Friday. It's whatever. Anything.
Candy, he needs some love. Don't beat him up this week.
Don't nobody need no love. I'll be all right.
Candy, are you gonna be in Tenley? Oh, Kara Shay says she driving up on. I mean, they driving up on Friday. Cool, cool, cool. Make sure that everybody, we say hi, and not everybody, because Dre funny acting, but those who.
We're not gonna talk about that. I was just thinking about that about you the other day.
Oh goodness. So I already told my husband. I think I'm gonna be. It's gonna be different for me this year. But yeah, those who love us here will definitely get love in person.
Just remember, since you talking trash early, don't ask me for no ride back to no hotel this time.
I'm just saying. It actually wasn't a bad walk, but yeah, I'd rather drive.
I mean, at night, wasn't nobody gonna let you walk
And
back at
and,
night?
and we
Mm.
sitting on dubs. We sitting on dubs.
I did just put some new rims on my car. You get on my nerves.
G3 said, DW Exotics, I have decided you and Gershon need a couple name. How do you feel about Dre Shaw?
I hate it.
Y'all go send it to me again.
you you wanna know what's funny? Everybody calls me Gershon, but nobody calls Gershon Dre. I find that hilarious.
That's not true.
That is, ask Gershon. The only
Really?
time the only time people have gotten Gershon confused with me is when we were at Tinley that one time and they were confused as hell because they thought I was Gershon. Other than that, they do not call Gershon Dre. That's
Wait a
all.
minute. Look, Candy said Drake in his bonnet. You need a hug, fool.
Fuck you, Candy. I'm about that. I'm about sick of you, Pitbull, Weenie Dog, all of y'all. I'm about sick of all that shit.
He's going to have a better week. Ray, are
Whatever.
you coming to Tinley? Hey, Dom. Good morning. The beautiful sis, Dom LeBlue. Dominique is funny. Her entire family is funny.
Mm, I need a refill.
I cannot believe you're drinking like this 8 o'clock in the morning.
It was
We may need a
rough week.
counseling session.
Rough week. I ain't got to work today. Why not?
Jesus, what are you drinking?
You don't want to know because it's really
A concoction.
it is it was
Okay.
it was just apple cider, and then I put some Crown in
Oh
it.
my God. Candy. Second. You know there's sarcasm behind it.
Whatever. I know it's always sarcasm, but whatever.
Oh wow.
And I ain't go to
Wow,
sleep till
wow,
5 in the morning. Back up, and I beat you on the podcast.
well, I actually know. If you look at my message, I was up an hour early because I thought I had the time messed up. So I thought it was an hour ago. So if you
I
look at
saw
my
your I
messages,
saw your message. I
and
saw your man. Listen, don't nobody care you
I'm
in
like,
Cali. Listen,
I'm like, never mind. I'm going back to sleep.
you
I'll be
about to make me
back.
come to Tinley with a chip on my shoulder.
Don't do that.
Mm, that's what you do. What the
Oh,
hell
you
she
leave
mean?
these
That's what
calls.
I do. Whatever.
They are dragging you today.
I ain't
I,
even gonna
I asked the
entertain
people.
that today.
I asked the people to show you love,
Yeah,
and
and
they
see what they
dragging
doing.
you.
In facts, it's all good.
T Keys, Keisha Keys. That's Terrence. Yeah, that's Terrence.
Mm.
All right, so let's get into our question of today. And this was a good topic because when I realized that a lot of you in Florida were being affected by the hurricane, and of course, just kind of watching, trying to keep an eye on everybody through Instagram. One of the things that was really enlightening to me was when there was an Instagram post of Jeremy Ball pack. Jeremy Ball don't have a small collection of snakes. You
Right,
know, packing up all of those snakes. Well, first of all, let me shout him out because a lot of people don't evacuate when they say evacuate, right? So if you're in a direct line of a storm and they tell you to evacuate, Katrina should have taught us something, right? Evacuate. And so it was impressive to see that Jeremy Ball did not hesitate. And he has a huge collection, and how he was literally having to box up individually each snake. And then at this particular point, I still need to know from Jeremy, and where did you go with all of them, right? Because most of us, I don't know if in a case of that type of disaster, I don't know who's going to let me come in with just 8 retics alone. Like, this a thought.
right.
Just a thought. And so, what do you do next? I mean, we have disaster plans, and I always talk about what we would do if there's a fire in a home, right? But nothing like an earthquake, a major disaster, a flood, anything like that. What are you doing?
Sorry, I'm listening. Apparently, it's not my Monday either. Something's going on with my eye. Trying to take me
Oh,
out this week.
Alex, Jesus.
Maybe my sins are caught
Um,
up with me. I'm finally going to hell. I don't know. Eye
stop
is
it.
burning like a bitch.
Stop it.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm listening.
Yeah. So that was very, impressive. So if you guys please engage in the chat, like especially for those of you who are in Florida or in places or in California, in places where y'all have natural disasters that me and Dre, being surrounded by the wonderful mountains may not have as much. Dre, you might have tornadoes because when I lived in Columbus, there were tornadoes that came through Ohio, but it
We
normally
getting
affected the
every so
rural
often.
areas.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in Maryland, I don't really have to worry about, even if there is a power outage. It's rare. I think it was only one hurricane that we actually went days without. And what do you guys do in those cases? Dre, just what is some advice that you would give, or how do you prepare for your animals in odd cases like that? And
So
pray
for
pray
me,
it never happens.
yeah. So first off, glad everybody in Florida and down south is okay. Number one.
Yes.
But for me, I don't have a written plan. It's just kind of something like ingrained in my mind that I just keep in my head to make sure to look out for. So typically, it's gonna look like here. I know not everywhere. Not everywhere's big on basements. Here, we a lot of the places we have basements. So I guess for me, the easiest thing for me to do would be to box all of my animals up and probably put them um, in like so the basements here we have like it's like two sides. You got your finished side and then you got like the utility side. I'll put them in the utility side because it's mostly brick, no windows, no anything like that, and I can shut the door. Now in my old apartment, um, we did have a pretty bad storm. Nothing crazy. We didn't know what to expect, but I did end up boxing up all the snakes and putting them in the bathroom. But again, my snakes were a lot smaller than. But that's pretty much the only kind of plan that I have at the moment. Just because it's not really much else I could do. Like I said, I don't really have anywhere I could take the reptiles. Not everybody is a fan of 16 snakes, especially the size. So
Anacondas, right?
she's,
Hi, I'm coming over and I got an anaconda. Like
she's
just that
still
alone,
small.
like
Yeah, I just don't.
right.
I don't
Yeah.
lead with that. I'm just gonna be like, hey, I got a couple snakes. I just need to drop a few off. And I'm like, okay, cool. And then they be like, hold up, bro. How much is a few? And I'm just like, you know what? So I will say putting them in tubs does help because most people don't stress out about what they can't see. I mean, that's it. About you?
Yeah, I think one thing that so for me, I'll be honest, like I'm having this conversation because I never thought past normal disasters like fire, flood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I never thought, what the hell if they say evacuate for Washington in DC, what I would do. I never thought of it, and so I have to spend some time thinking of that because that can happen, right? In these days, this with this world and how climate has changed,
Yeah.
it could really happen, you know. So I've thought about like things that could happen, like power situations. Even in those cases like that, typically like a refrigerator, if you don't open a PVC enclosure, it's going to hold the heat for
Right.
quite some time. Like you'll be good for a day or so. Um, but that's something important. Like a lot of people, they will have their thermostats monitoring the temperatures inside, but you still have to keep some type of um, digital thermometer inside as well in cases like that if there's a power failure, because it's no reason to open your reptile's doors if it's holding a good ambient
Facts.
temperature inside the enclosure, even in the case of a disaster. So if your power system went out, at least you can look at that, and like most of mine have lights on them, and hit the light and it will show you can still see what the temperature and the humidity is in those situations. So if you don't have a need to even open the enclosure if that's not a concern of it dropping.
Now for me, as far as power outages, because we do have those here. Like if we do have, we don't really get tornadoes often. Last full blown tornado we had didn't even touch down here, touch down in Dayton, and it was horrible. But we lose power every now and then, and I do have a generator, so that does give me some
Yeah.
peace of mind. But I mean, I feel like the
But
only
even
time
with
that I would
that,
truly worry, uh,
no, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say the only
You
time
were
I feel like
saying
I would truly
something.
worry is winter. If we were to have a storm during the winter, that would probably
Hmm.
be where I would stress out and worry because at that point I can't just let things be. I can't. It gets so cold here, so I can't. If I don't have a generator or if I don't have anywhere to take, or honestly in the wintertime, I'm not trying to take them nowhere because it's too damn cold outside. I'm not trying to send my snakes in a shock. So that's the only time when I'm really like, okay, we gotta do this, we gotta do this, we gotta do this, or I'm always consistently doing something because it gets crazy in the wintertime here and I hate it. But I'm not going nowhere else.
You know, yeah, oh no, yeah. I think well, no, I'm not gonna say that. I think eventually one day I would, but it's
Laws
like
is trash. I can't.
when it comes to right, I was getting ready to say, when it comes to reptiles, Maryland is very reptile friendly, so it's a
Mm-hmm.
comfortable place to be. Like we have very few limitations, and the alligators being one of them. That's the only one that I want that I can't have right now where I am. So that's no big deal for me. But Candy made a good point, and Candy, I learned a lot from that experience. Like even like you said, needing the generator and things like that. But that was just for power, right? I never thought about what if you had to evacuate. Like, what if power wasn't just a concern? Like, literally, you had to get the hell out the way. Like
Right.
a lot of people in Florida did. I don't even know who, like I said, where we would go with all of those snakes. I'm not leaving them. Do you get a truck, and maybe get some type of truck with some thermal system in there where, you can go park that somewhere. And I don't know. I don't know. And so that's something I definitely have to work on, specific to my climate and, Maryland. I know that there's some like fallout shelters here in Maryland that if something was like to happen with a big natural, like a nuclear disaster in most of our school systems, but would they ever let you bring your animals? You know what I mean? Or definitely snakes. You know what I'm
I ain't,
saying?
I ain't
So
asking. These my kids, all 16 of them. Let's go. I ain't asking.
yeah. Now, like my smaller snakes, the ball pythons, my mother, because I had them when I was younger. They wouldn't bother like my mom. I could take them to my mom's house. I'm talking like the retics, the berms, the Asian water monitor. Like even with that, you're gonna need
Yeah.
somebody's bathroom for a water monitor temporarily.
And
Temporarily, I need a bathroom for my
and
monitor.
and even in that situation, it sucks and it's so much stress on the animal because they're being moved, and then you got to worry about. I mean, they can't really move around too much. 9 times out of 10, you're not even worried about handling them because you got so much other stuff on your mind. It's stressful. It's a stressful process. But I do feel like having at least some type of emergency plan will it's going to come in handy for everybody at some point. It's just like it's like I tell people, you can't have multiple snakes and think you're not going to get bit. At some point, it's going to happen.
Right.
It doesn't
And you
work
just
like
gotta
that.
do the best you can and prepare for it. Um, Kara Shea, I want to go back to her comment. She said taking reptiles to family house isn't as easy as sneaking them into a hotel. The hotel told me to sneak them in when we moved cross country. Well, it's easy. Like, yeah, I think we did a video one time with the Noir group, and we literally brought the reptiles into the hotel in tubs. No one's checking for that. But if you're bringing in like retakes are heavy, heavy, like so if you got a big tub, it's gonna take a few people to be bringing. They're gonna wondering if you're bringing in bodies, pretty much. Like,
Mhm.
it's like what
I
what
mean,
the hell?
essentially, you are just not human bodies.
Right? Like, like what are these people doing for one night or 2 nights? What they got in there? They gonna call the police. So yeah, so that's something that I just really have to put some more time and thought into. Even if it's something, like I said, like maybe it's something where you can rent a truck, have it heated, and just kind of try to hold it that way. Because even in when Texas had that storm in 2021, Candy talked about the hand warmers. That was a lot of people came up with that. A lot of people who just literally went and just turned their cars on. And of course, you don't want to do that in a garage situation, but if you have a garage situation, pull the car out of the garage, and if they had gas in the car, they ran a car and ran a heat in for the snakes. Like that was stuff that just reading what other people were doing helped a lot of people. Like I think a lot of knowledge came in that situation because
For
Texas is
sure.
one of them places where they never expected that to happen. No one expected that massive and long-term power outage in Texas, and
Nobody expected
that's
Texas to turn into Ohio or the Midwest.
right, right. And
But
then on the sad part of it, a lot of people lost a lot of animals, and
yeah,
emotionally, that's tough. There are some people who've never came back from that. They because of the trauma, they never replaced the animals. So, and my husband will tell y'all it can be something simple for 5 minutes. I'm in straight panic mode. Like if
because it's stressful, and some
yeah,
people who don't, or these fake animal lovers that only like dogs and cats who don't like reptiles, don't understand the the bond or just the relationship that we develop with these animals. Whether
yeah,
they show emotion or not, whether they like us or not, it doesn't matter. We don't get them for the same reason you would get a dog because they're not dogs. We get them for the complete opposite reasons because they are misunderstood. So when you lose
Yep.
one, especially when it's something out of your control, it takes a lot. It
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah. I can tell you that, John, thank you so much. So that's why we chose Monday mornings for this podcast. We wanted to be, that good reptile talk, but also kind of lift people mornings, even though, all of our mornings are not always bright. Like sometimes me and Dre got to give each other a pep talk
Facts.
before we start. But we love doing this. Like I said, everybody knows that it just works, and we just wanted to make sure that we kind of that's the point. We wanted to make people mornings awesome. So I'm glad you're having an awesome morning. John said that would be ridiculous. you know, um, Antoine says that to me all the time. That's ridiculous. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Um, So, yep, Candy, the funny thing is I have a bunch of snake bags. I ordered them like a long time ago, and I normally don't have to use them that often. But definitely that's something that I made part of, a plan if I had to do something temporarily. Like I'm not even thinking at that moment when I bought the snake bags, I'm thinking about putting them in bags, putting them in tubs, trying to keep them warm that way, never thinking that you have to transport them somewhere else. And in some cases, like that's miles away. You have to at least to get out of the eye of the storm a couple, about 60, 70, 61, 20 miles away from the storm to really be out of the evacuation area.
Yeah.
Um, that's just insane. And then you have to bring all of those animals back. Well, the fortunate thing about places like Florida, the ambient temperatures would be okay, even if you're just sitting somewhere in a truck at that process. But for like a Maryland or New Hampshire or somewhere like that, if that vehicle is not running, you are freezing
Pretty
in the
much.
dead winter. Yeah, especially in Ohio where Dre is. I used to freeze going in my garage. My garage used to be cold.
It's already. Let me look at the temperature because we already. It's 41 degrees right now. The high is
Wow.
62. So that's why I like
Hey,
a lot of
Lecca.
people. A lot of people been commenting like they said something about me like wearing hoodies. I'm like, hell yeah, it's getting cold. The fuck you think I'm gonna be wearing? It's
Yeah,
not cold enough for like a full blown coat, but it's getting there. So
Ohio's cold is different.
from here until like next June, so I'm gonna be wearing is hoodies because once we actually hit winter, we get winter like January, and that
Hey,
shit
Pat.
lasts until like May. But man, oof,
So the other thing I never thought of, like, what do you do in the case of an earthquake? Like, so I think I did come up with this. I'm gonna do an inventory sheet. So if the fire and safety, people had to come in immediately, and let's say they was coming in to save us, I can just hand them an inventory sheet of what animals were in what location and what they, might need to, rescue or might need to know that it's there, because I wouldn't want someone to be coming in trying to save me and my family and a big retic is meeting them and it scares the crap out of them and it delays our safety either.
fuck that.
So that's something I did think about.
I'm gonna be right there with the fire department. You get that one, I'm gonna get this one. Let's go. Come on, get your boys. Let's go. Y'all got the supplies. I got the eyes. We gonna do this together
We're
because
gonna get it.
you just never know. Mm-mm.
I was laughing. I talked about this one day in Antoine's Patreon. I think it was Maine. We was talking about fire though, fire safety. And so we was talking about what is your safety plan. And it was hilarious because we all had these detailed plans and Maine's response was, I'm gonna get the hell out. He's like, y'all saving animals. I'm gonna get the
Hell yeah! Like
I said I had a list of animals that I would want to, if I can, if I got the time to get out. And that's why I positioned them a certain way that they are in the house.
so, if a
But
if a
I
fire
will
broke
tell
out,
you, go
I
ahead.
mean, I'm asking. I'm just. first thing I'm doing is trying to put
Go
that motherfucker
ahead.
out. First thing I'm trying to do is
Oh,
putting it out because
okay.
I'm not
It's
trying to be moving
okay.
on.
That's
I got
true.
a fire extinguisher. I mean, we
That's true. That's
gonna
true.
do
I thought you
something.
was going to say so. You're going to try to save animals? Absolutely,
If it
absolutely.
came down to it, but my first thing would be to put the fire out. That way, I don't have to even
No,
go that
yeah,
far,
that's a good point. That's a good point. That's a good point. Absolutely. But
depending on how
if I
big the fire
can,
is.
so I will put it this way: it's not like you will walk in fire to save your daughter, right? But I will, if I can get a chance without threatening the harm of our, myself and my
For
family, I
sure,
would try to save them. Yeah, yeah.
without a doubt.
So that's what I mean. That's what I'm not going to be like, what was that? Ace Ventura when he ran into the pet shop, coming out of the fire. Um,
That kind of
Pat,
goes.
did you ever get with Oh, did you ever get with Instagram? Inbox me on Instagram. I'm trying to figure out if you ever got a hold of Pat for your snake. Hey, go Sean. Speaking of Dre Sean.
Hey,
Hey.
Gershon, bro, we gonna talk, bro. You coming to Tinley? We gonna have to go live or something.
Yeah, I
Let
think
these people
Gershon said
know.
he'll be in Tinley on Saturday.
Yeah, I'm gonna be. Yeah, we gonna have to do something. Sick of this shit. See,
Yeah.
another one.
Let's see.
Oof, this is- Ooh.
Did you see Candy is funny? She said she'll pass
Listen,
away.
she not lying though. If so, the crazy part is Michigan is right above where I'm at, and my family is from Detroit. When we went to Michigan, it's people laugh when I say this, but there's a difference between Michigan winter and Ohio winter. They got them lakes right there. That water, you feel it. I'm good. I'm good. I'm so serious because it's frigid. Here it's cold, but it's frigid cold. Can't do it.
Hey, Esteban. Esteban said he just got back from walking the dogs. I love you, Gershon. Y'all are so funny. John, I tried going to bed a couple hours ago, but couldn't sleep. So happy I'm awake for this. Absolutely. Just going through the comments because we got about 2 minutes. No, I didn't. I shot you an email. I'm not on Instagram or Facebook. Okay. Okay. I'll check it. Anyone else have a snake that's super food responsive?
Yeah, I think that's called a retip.
All of them. All of them. Love it.
Keep it a buck.
But
I mean,
I love it when my ball pythons are super food responsive because I love an animal that loves to eat. It makes me feel better when it's easier to feed them. I love that.
yeah.
But like you said, I have a bunch of snakes too that will eat every day if you let them.
Yeah, my retake, my burn, my green tree, my big three. I think it's food time. Every time.
Yeah, and a corn snake. Like my corn snake is very food responsive. Very food responsive. Yep. That's
You got a
that's the
corn
one
snake?
thing that. Yeah. Why everybody say that?
Because
Nipsey, you know
I didn't
that.
know. What's her name?
Nipsey. He's a
I know
boy.
that. I know that. You don't
Yeah.
show off your
I'm
corn
about to
snake?
show Nipsey more. I do. Nipsey is on Instagram.
Nicole, how often do you post on Instagram?
I post enough.
Anytime somebody says something like that in a high pitched voice, they lying.
I post enough. But yeah, he's on Instagram. I've done videos. There's a video of my corn snake.
I'm
Nipsey
gonna have to
pretty
go check that out.
cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, he's pretty
Never,
cool.
never know.
So I'm gonna have to. That means I need to do a new video with Nipsey, and I'll do that when I get home. When we get back from Stanley, I'll do a video because Nipsey is pretty cool. He pretty funny. He's a pretty funny snake. Um. So yes, love food responsive snakes, but my berm is like OD with it. Yeah, my retics are like that. Well, my berm is too. But that's what I love about the big sinks. Like you're not wasting any food when you got retics and berms.
Look, my burn Zeus, the friendliest snake I got on feeding day. Everything is food. There was one time my goofy ass got way too comfortable in feeding him, and I opened his tub, and I'm getting his rat ready, and then something told me to look up, and he is right here, and I'm like, all right, bro, chill. He could have took my whole
Wow.
face off.
So Candy says she have a berm that refuses to eat. I have to assist feed her. Oh, like yeah, like
Mm.
have you tried giving her any vitamins like that? The Vinci boa works. I don't care if nobody says. But giving her any vitamins because sometimes I think that with the if the gut health is off, they won't eat. But yeah, that's my berm.
Yeah,
She'll
burn
now
that
my
won't
berm
eat.
is she
Mm.
doesn't. Yeah, my berm is not as food aggressive as the retics are, but she ain't passing up no food if you swing it past her
I'm gonna
unless
hit.
she can shed.
I'm gonna text you about that one, Candy.
Um, John, my killer spin is probably my most responsive. She smells food for a mile away. It seems she's never missed a meal. Yeah, that's the good part. That's the good part, honestly. Um, so yeah, I'm telling
Sounds
you
about
that Da
right.
Vinci board is some good stuff.
You better have that food ready. Better have it ready. Cause I know now. I know to have the food ready before I open cages. So that's just kind of how I do it. Cause yeah, I've I've had too many close encounters with being bit in the face. You can bite me anywhere else. Don't bite me in my face.
All right, y'all. It is 2 minutes over. Our hard stop of 8:30. Thank you for joining us another Monday morning for Two Keys of the Podcast. Dre chooses the next subject for next week. So I'm sure it's gonna be a riot.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be just coming back from Tinley. Hopefully I'll be in a better mood. We'll see.
Yes, yes,
Go
yes,
get
yes.
me a
Actually,
refill.
I'll still be in Tinley because we leave, I think, after the podcast. So we're staying, we stay until Monday. We fly back on Monday. But
Gotcha.
yeah. But of course, we'll still make this happen. All
Oh, for
right,
sure.
everybody have a great week. Keep yourself going, stay motivated, stay positive. Live your dreams, the wildest ones out loud. I'm gonna get that on the shirt. Love you too, John.
You should get that with
I
your corn
won't.
snake.
I won't. I'm gonna do. I'm gonna send it right away. Pat. And yes, and I'll do a video of my corn snake in the next 2 weeks. So yeah, this is pretty cool. People always forget my corn snake. That's my
What do you
buddy.
mean forgetting your corn snake?
I had the corn snake before the retics.
Yeah, see, I never would have knew that.
Yeah, that means I definitely gotta post some more. If you didn't know that, that's weird. All right. Yes, you can watch the playback, bro. You can watch the playback, Elias. We'll see Elias this week, Dre.
Oh, for
Everybody who's
sure.
coming to Tinley, we cannot wait to see you guys.
Oh, if you come into Tinley, bundle up. It's gonna be chilly. I've been watching the weather. God, man.
It's gonna be cold. Ugh.
Saturday the high is like 54.
Oh wow.
So
Wow.
Thursday, the
Oh, that's
day
right, because the
won't
last
be.
time that I went, it was in March. It wasn't okay. I was like, damn,
But
it wasn't that
last year
cold.
October when I went, it was in like the mid 60s because I've never. Well, no, I wore a hoodie. But you're looking at Tinley. Um, Thursday is gonna be 70. Cool. But Friday, Saturday, it's gonna be 53 and 57, and then Sunday it's gonna be 64.
All right, guys. Well, bundle up. We'll see you guys if we see you then in Tinley. Otherwise, peace. We'll see you next Monday right here on Two Peace in a Podcast. Peace.